Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me for this short video about how to get your partner on board for Diamond Club. This is a picture of Renee and I way before Diamond Club, so don't worry, this isn't the result of Diamond Club, but I want to make sure that you avoid the bludgeoning and the hammers and the scary ninja stars and nails to their head as a result of perhaps not asking or not asking at the right time. And so I'm going to offer you a couple of tips on how you can get your partner on board and make this a beautiful journey that you can both enjoy together. So you want to do Diamond Club. Have you told or have you asked your partner yet? Have you done them the justice of asking them? It's very wise to be asking your partner this question. They need to know there's going to be an impact on your life, your relationship. So it's really important that when we don't have fear, we're not scared about asking this question. I'm sure you guys, as premiers and above, have worked through the no, receiving a no from people that you ask about the natural solutions. Are you open to natural solutions? Would you like to learn more about essential oils? So you work through that, and you've got to have that same philosophy, that same mentality when you're asking your partner if they would be supportive of you doing Diamond Club. And just remember, you can't die from a no. It may be a little bit deflating, but that doesn't mean that it's the last response that you'll get from your partner. It doesn't mean that you should also pound them into the ground and in defeat they just go, yes, do whatever you want, because they're not going to be supportive. When the going gets tough, they're going to be there saying, I told you so. So remember to ask them this question. Out of respect, we need to be asking this question. So I'm going to give you a couple of tips now on how we can ask this question and go for the results that we want to get. So it's really important to choose a great time to ask the question, I feel, because we are going for a yes, and we do want full support. We don't want to be deceitful by not asking the question and secretive, because they're gonna notice, they're gonna realize. But it's really important to be wise about your timing. Some great times that you can ask them this question is when you're in a good space. Maybe it's when you're having dinner together. Maybe you ask them out on a date night. If you've got children, if you're busy, have a busy work life, maybe it's not a good idea to ask this question in a time of high stress when you're getting the kids ready for bed, or perhaps midweek, Wednesday, could be hump day, and you're feeling a little bit deflated, or it could be a Monday, even worse. But you want to make sure you're both in a good space, and you're asking this question when you're both in a happy and positive space. Maybe you could be doing something you enjoy doing together, playing a round of golf, or perhaps it's going for a walk or a ride, going to the beach, a place where you both are feeling good, positive, and happy. You may need to organize a babysitter, or the kids might need to be in bed. You don't want to be running around after the kids, 101 things going on when you're trying to communicate to your partner and get their full support for you participating in Diamond Club when there's lots of things going on. And be in a good space yourself. There's no point in asking this question if you're feeling stressed and sick, upset, grumpy, tired, whatever it is, that those negative emotions. Make sure you nourish yourself. You do something that you enjoy to get you in a space to ask this question. Definitely don't be asking this question when you're having a disagreement. You want to have a good flow and be in a good space in your relationship when you ask this question. And it's really important to speak from the heart when you're asking this question. Express your excitement and enthusiasm. You want to show that enthusiasm to your partner, but get the balance between enthusiasm and fire hosing. We don't want to do that again, right? We've all done it, and perhaps that's put them off when you've fire hosed them in the past. So give them the information that they need. I'm going to talk a bit about that in a bit, but paint the picture for your partner. Share the dream of what Diamond Club, or the results of Diamond Club, will provide you and your partner. And it's also really important to know their love language. What do they want? You have your dreams, you know them, but do you know theirs? Do you know their love language? Do the 5 love languages test to make sure that you're speaking their love language. Is it quality time that they want? Is it gifts? Is it acts of service, etc.? Have a look at the 5 love languages by Gary Chapman and make sure that your dream, the picture that you're painting, it sings to your partner. And they go, yeah, cool. Well, I get to play more golf, or I get to spend more quality time with my family as a result of Diamond Club. Yes, I'm in for this. I'm more supportive. But once again, in relation to the fire hosing, you want to keep the details simple about Diamond Club. There's a lot of complex qualifications and the things that we need to do during Diamond Club. It doesn't mean we need to give them all of those details, especially if they're not doing the business. They're not going to understand. It's jargon to them. So you just want to give them the information that's relevant to them, that affects them, to get to the core of how it will help you achieve your goals, how Diamond Club will help you achieve your goals. So this is a really important question, I feel, and should be the focus of what we get out of this presentation. So what does it mean for your partner? And we talk about expectations here. I love the saying that happiness is life without expectations. But it's okay to have expectations that are agreed upon, right? So what are your expectations of them in your Diamond Club adventure? They need to know. If you just get a yes from them and they don't really know, that in your mind you're thinking, oh, well, they're just going to do the cooking and the cleaning. They're going to pick up the slack. They're going to pick up the kids from school. They're going to do all these things that I usually did because I'm going to be doing Diamond Club. If they don't know that that is your expectations of them, then they don't know. So you've got to clearly communicate this. And it's also really important that you communicate what they can expect from you in contribution to your relationship, in contribution to the household. What can you continue to do? What do you need to delegate to your partner or to family and friends or other people that can help? It's because there's obviously going to be things that are going to fall off as you dedicate a lot of time over the 4 months during Diamond Club to rapidly grow your business. There are going to be things that are pushed to the side while you focus on Diamond Club. And I want you guys to be successful. So it is important to focus on Diamond Club. And be realistic with the amount of time and travel that you're going to be doing for Diamond Club. There's no point in saying, just going to be doing the same amount that I'm doing, maybe, just 4 hours a week doing some classes of an afternoon. You're going to be traveling. You're going to be traveling a couple of times a month, and it's going to be greater than 100 Ks. So you might be staying overnight. You might need to take the car. All of these things that need to be put into consideration that they need to know. Because when it's just dropped on them, you drop the bombshell. Oh yeah, I'm going to Mudgee for the weekend, and I'll be gone for 3 nights. And I'm taking the car. can you look after the kids? So yeah, you know, they're not going to be too happy with that. So just give them a little bit of forethought, a bit of forward planning, so they know what to expect during this period. And what I recommend that you do is write out a roles and responsibilities list that you both agree upon. And there might be a little bit of backward and forward negotiating here of, you know, what you do well, what your strengths are, what you enjoy doing, and delegate them out to each other and others. So write up a defined list of roles and responsibility that you can be clear on, and maybe you might even need to refer back to and be flexible and change if need be. It's important that it's flexible. It's not concrete. It's not scribed in stone. It can change if things aren't quite working as you're going through this period. And in saying that, it's really, I recommend reaching out for support from others, your team. Most importantly, your team, you're going to be working closely with them. They want to help you. So don't be scared to say yes, and don't be scared to ask family and friends as well. Perhaps they can help with picking the kids up from school, or your partner can chip in and make lunches for the kids. There's loads of things that other people can do that you usually would do during this period that's really going to support you in your Diamond Club adventure. And it could or it couldn't be Diamond Club related tasks. So ask these questions. What can be done in and out of Diamond Club to help support you in your adventure? Now, celebrating and embracing their acceptance and their support of you doing Diamond Club, I feel, is also really important as well. So you want to show much love and gratitude, and do this in the form of their love language. There's no point in doing what you enjoy and what speaks to you. Speak their love language, and be really embracing of them being on this adventure with you. So ask them if they want to be involved in any way. If you don't ask, you don't receive. Perhaps they've never been involved in the business up until this point. And once you paint the picture of what Diamond Club is going to bring for you and your relationship and your family, then perhaps they do want to get more involved. And if you don't ask, then maybe they won't volunteer. So maybe you can offer a couple of things, a couple of tasks that will help you that they can do. And who knows, they might even step up and want to do classes or wellness consults. But it's okay if they don't. Any form of support is fantastic, and it still means that you're working as a team and you're on this journey together. So in saying that anything that they do is supportive, and don't feel like you have to push them into the business. They will come around when they're ready. They'll perk up and go, I could help with this, or you could focus on their strengths and say, hey, you'd be really good at that. But just remember, support is support. Doing the dishes, cooking dinner, helping you relax, looking after the kids, looking after the house, anything that they would usually do that you can pick up the slack is hugely supportive for you and your adventure. So in summary, I've said this a couple of times, if you don't ask, you don't receive. You always ask. You must ask out of respect of your relationship, and keep them fully informed about you wanting to do Diamond Club. So they are supportive of your Diamond Club adventure, and be completely open and honest about what it involves. Don't be blasé and just brush over and say, I am doing this Diamond Club thing, and you don't really need to know about it. Be clear, don't fire hose. Give them the information that is relevant to them, that affects them. They don't need to know every single little detail and drama about logging kilometers and collecting receipts and logging all of your enrollments, and perhaps some dramas in the team that they may not be interested. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. You got to ask them that question. How can they help? And also celebrating them being supportive. And remember that you're on this journey together, and it's time and time again we see highly successful couples and partners rise up in doTERRA because they have their partner on board. And reach out to encourage all of you men to be supportive of this with your partner. It is men in general. It is a generalization. There are more women that are doing this business and on this adventure. So once again, I do encourage the men to be as supportive as possible in this adventure. There's so much to be gained. And if you're there to support your partner, then you're going to benefit from this in more ways than one. So I wanted to thank you so much for your time, and I wish you all the best through your Diamond Club adventure. We think you guys are amazing. Stay strong, get your partner on board, and you will just be so thankful that you have done Diamond Club. We did it 2 years in a row, and we highly encourage everybody who's serious about their doTERRA business to do Diamond Club. You all do amazing. Congratulations on making the choice, and we'll see you along the way. See ya.